You know, as much of a fan as I am of this game, I tend to forget that the Prinnies also have wings. Like, there's just a small part of their design. They don't ever use them because they're too small to do anything. But it's there, and I've just
It's
become
weird
hyper
that they're
aware of it now.
penguins. They're penguins, but they also have wings on their backs.
I mean, okay, man, if this was me in the past, I would have made such a distinction of being like, oh, well, you know, they're not really penguins. So, in this case, I count that as growth, but I also just look back at myself and just like, man, that must have been really annoying.
Yeah, sometimes we're just hyper focused, not only on the wings, but on our past.
Well, either way, we need to beware of the forest mushrooms now. Oh, there they are, in the background.
Oh, because I thought this was going to be a Wonder Flower reference.
Well, I mean, apart
I'm
from the
so
fact...
excited for Super Mario Wonder,
Yes.
by the way.
I mean, we're going to talk about Mario RPG, we have to. I mean, I guess we don't have to, but...
I don't know nothing about Super Mario RPG.
Isn't that just like you?
Yeah, I played Mario and Luigi, and so that's the only Mario RPG I decided to know about.
I mean, the fact that you haven't played Paper Mario is already another crime.
Because everyone says that's the best one. But
No. A lot of people love Paper Mario, specifically the Thousand Year Door, and while I think that Super Paper Mario does have the best story, the games are good. Well, I mean, the games you know we're talking about are good, but it's nowhere near the amount of fun I had playing Mario and Luigi. I think the only exception to that would be Partners in Time, and that is almost solely because of the demands that they put on the US version.
I liked Partners in Time, but I don't remember which version I played.
It was probably the US version.
And also, it was the first one I played.
I mean, I don't know why they did that. It's usually the opposite that they do it.
Yeah, it's really odd.
Either way,
I really like soundtracks that have wind instruments in them. It's very good.
what? And what are you talking?
This game right here
Oh,
that we're playing.
well, in this case, I'm sorry. I was so hooked on the last thing that you said that I was like, oh, that was just jerkish. So you're gonna need to repeat that.
I always like when a soundtrack has wind instruments in it.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking of like a Pokemon equivalent, but I guess the only equivalent is horn and its trumpets.
Well, I do think, honestly, if there's any... It's weird, because you know that when I'm going through a whole bunch of other stuff in terms of music, there's a lot of subdued things. But I could swear that not a lot of things use string instruments that aren't named guitar.
In what?
Just in... Oh, this is precarious. Oh, this is a terrible idea. Oh, what am I going to do?
Yeah, I would say.
Darn it.
I would say, if I were to think about other soundtracks, I'd say Jolt has a lot of piano in it, and I would say that, or at least Hard Gold Soul Silver Jolt has a lot of piano in it, and Unova has a lot of accordion, which is such a strange choice, but that's just how Unova rolls, because man, those tracks are amazing.
I mean, sometimes I like finding out like new instruments, just like how I like finding that are similar to older ones. Like I finding out new animals that are similar to older ones. Like when I found out the Pika existed. And I did learn a new one recently, but I forgot. But all these things, that's for all the times where I make, stories that have globetrotting. I do a lot of research. It's like, you know what, they're not going to be in, specifically in Egypt. They're not going to go to Egypt. They're going to go to Libya first or something, because it's on the way. And we're going to show something happening there.
That reminds me of Class of 3000. How I remember it was specifically set in Atlanta because all the cartoons are set in just like New York or San Fran or something. And he just wanted a cartoon set in a new place or a different place. I was like, yeah,
Well,
that's how Andre 3000 rolls.
well, the thing is that I used to have a. Wait, used to? I still have.
I need to rewatch Class of 3000, by the way.
Yes, you do.
Actually, I should just start that as our next rewatch, like right now. Not literally right now, but you know what I mean. But yes, continue.
Yeah. So, oh, nope, I can feel the thought draining from my brain. I've forgotten what I'm saying.
I was talking about shows set in unique places.
Okay, I remember now.
Where it's coming from.
So, I had this story where people would come from all over the world. And like there'd be immigrants specifically to Canada because the main person is from Canada. And the plot starts there. But I was like, oh man, I shouldn't have it be like from Australia, just like, oh yeah, they came from Australia or Japan, etc., etc. Like, no, let me actually look up this kind, the cultures of these countries, and let's like look up things like from Lithuania or something like that. When was the last time you heard about Lithuania? And I felt that, of course, the first thing that comes to mind is a pitfall of, am I representing this culture right? And how much research is needed for that. And, wait, is this where I... Yep, this is where I have obtained every Lucky Doll. Man, I swear, I need to stop eating this thing before I'm not taking water. This is annoying. Anyways, dry foods aside, the whole thing is like, while I want to be aware of everybody's culture and try and represent them properly, in a way, I think something that we're forgetting, or not considering a lot of, is that there are a lot of people, and they're not so bad that you could call them definite minorities, that don't represent their culture as the international people would consider it.
Funny enough, I have not been paying attention to the Primo's drama at all because it just looks like Velma 2.0 where it's like hating it becomes content, and so the discussion is just not interesting anymore.
Really, because
so
I haven't seen
ignore
much
all of
after
it.
the initial time that I saw it. It doesn't seem like Velma. Or maybe it's just because of the spaces I'm in.
I've seen. I'm just because I don't really. I see it trending all the time. I just happened onto a viral tweet and was like, yeah, I don't care.
I mean, it's one of those things
But-
where unless you had personal stakes, you just sort of, or if it's something where the information is specifically sensitive and you're going to be talking about it, there really is no reason to check out more news about it.
Yeah, but like and I guess since I am not paying attention, because I don't know how accurate it is, but I did see someone that's just like, yeah, seeing this discourse really makes me realize that me as an immigrant, I'm just not seen as valid as people who are from these countries because I'm an immigrant living in the US, and it's just like, yeah, I guess there is a case where a show isn't given the opportunity to depict someone who isn't like the best representative of their culture.
Well, something that's I mean, between the statements from, was it the creator? I think I read that it wasn't actually the creator or something, but it was like somebody who just worked on it. Um, maybe I'm wrong. Point is that like those statements seem pretty bad to the point where it's like there probably is some extra story to this, or that person is just has a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah, I'm vaguely aware of what you're talking about, but yeah.
The only thing that stands out to, oh, that was close, that stands out to me specifically is the fact that one of the characters looks like the most gremlin of gremlins I have ever seen in a while.
It's weird because people are asking for characters to stop looking so homogenized. Like old cartoons, people looked ugly. And I think it's good that we're getting some cartoons that look weird again. I don't think it's a big deal. Because I know exactly the character you're talking about, and yeah, that is weird. But I think it's fine that a cartoon looks weird.
I think it's less that I'm disturbed by just like the fact that they're in the show in the first place or anything like that. It's just more of the situation where it seems in a show that's like specifically advertising, yeah, we're about the characters and their situations. It just seems weird that this one is here.
Yeah, and I guess it's like in the end, some people's not gonna like an art style, and that's not their fault, and I can't really blame someone for it. Like in some people's cases, it's like kind of being unpleasable, but in other people's cases, it's just like, yeah, I just don't think that looks good, and it's not really my place to be like, really? You should think it looked good, because I don't really think it looks good, and I'm also not going to watch it. And that's the thing. Since I'm probably not going to watch it, I really don't have much stake in the conversation.
Yep,
I do want to start watching some of because I'm entering a new, like, Disney's entering a new era of, like, everything being new, and I'm not watching any of it, and I don't want to be that out of the loop. So I'm probably just going to choose one, because I haven't seen Molly McGee.
Molly McGee.
I don't even know. And I haven't seen Lafayette Lunette. What's her name?
No, I haven't
Moon
even heard
Girl
of that
and
one.
Devil Dinosaur. Moon Girl. You haven't heard of Moon Girl?
Wait, what?
Moon Girl.
Oh, wait, no, yes.
Yes, I haven't seen any of that either. I'm thinking I should watch. I haven't even seen Owl House. Come to think of it, I've seen maybe like 5 episodes of Owl House.
I mean, I stopped watching that from early for
probably
personal reasons, so.
I should probably just watch Haley's on it or something. I guess I don't have to be in the loop, but I'm thinking how I'm fundamentally completely out of the loop in terms of Nickelodeon. Because I didn't even see
Considering
Rise.
the line of work I want to get into, sort of, it is detrimental if I'm really out of the loop.
Yeah, I need to watch It's Pony from Nickelodeon.
Well,
But no one cares about Nickelodeon cartoons. It's just a shame because they're good. They're just not in vogue. What a shame. And then Cartoon Network, I don't know.
I just keep
I mean, Cartoon Network. Does Cartoon Network even have shows now? Genuinely, I don't think it's airing anything. I think Adult Swim is airing new stuff. I think Cartoon Network probably has like Caillou or something.
I think more so it's because of the feeling that I had, where when I was teaching at the summer school, and everyone's like, "Oh man, let's go watch. Can we go on Disney.com?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, alright, fine. Just finish your work first." And then they're just like, I obviously had to curate what they were doing in terms of time. And then everyone's like, "No, Disney Descendants, let's go do that." And I'm like, what? And I just saw this whole thing. I'm like, what is this? What? I've heard nothing about this.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you have a younger sister, I would say I know all about probably the most about Disney because my baby sister watched a lot of it. So I know Descendants, Bizarre Vark, I know
That's a
Liv
cool
and
name.
Maddie. Bizarre Vark is a cool name. And the show was okay. I know Liv and Maddie, I know Jesse and all 12 iterations of Bunt. Like that show seems to never end. Like it's at the point where all of the main cast are gone and the older cast, the new cast that came in like season 5 have grown up and are now like camp counselors. And I respect them for going on for so long, but good
I
grief.
mean,
So yeah,
have you remember our stories and what we do?
well, yeah. So like I said, I respect it. I'm very glad they're given the opportunity to go on for so long to the point where the original camp has expanded and they've all moved to like the savannah or something, and they're now just all like in on a western. Like it's crazy how much has happened in that show. But yeah, so all of that new Disney stuff, upside down magic, all of that stuff I'm aware of.
Something that's, well, I stopped looking at those type of shows for inspiration, not consciously, but because I just happened to stop watching them. Really, I'm getting a lot of my inspiration for extra story stuff from comics.
Oh, by the way, Upside Down Magic actually is fantastic. Like, not even for modern Disney, that was just great.
Really?
It's really surprised me. Yeah, it's a movie.
Okay.
But yeah, it is the thing.
Well, I mean, between all this other stuff, something that I really do need to do, and if I do get to the future that I want to this year, I probably will. I need to start watching like cartoons again, because as somebody who watches a lot of anime, etc., and usually that anime has a deep story and characters, I just kind of need simple fun again.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, and there's a lot of good cartoons. One, it's kind of bad and kind of good. That cartoon seasons, at least for like adult cartoons, are now like 10 episodes. So it's not hard to just watch all of something. So like Bird Girl on Adult Swim, that's 6 episodes a season or something like that. So that's easy to just get through the 2 seasons. Or Final Space is 3 seasons, even though that was cut short and should have been twice as long. But it ended up being 3 seasons with like 12 episodes each. So it's not like the whole 26 episodes and the show has 6 seasons thing.
That thing shredded through the machine and then killed me.
Yeah, that was funny. Like, Fairly Odd Parents season 9 is like 40 episodes, and Fairly Odd Parents season 10 is like 36 episodes. And that's just like a lot compared to modern shows where you have like 10 episodes. Except, I mean, like it depends. As the kids shows, I think still do have longer seasons. Amphibia seasons where they're still like 23 episodes each.
Well, I mean, part of the reason, other than just like the feeling of simplicity, and just like, oh, I can start another episode, it's less about the, how do I put this, the overall feeling, and more so that the stakes, because even the comics that I read that are like that are basically pretty simple. Well, no, that basically aren't pretty simple. They're short. Like when I read Beast Boy Loves Raven, which was the what if Hive tried to recruit the Teen Titans first, and it's like this is actually pretty good, but the story's short. I still think one of the romantic payoffs at the end came out of absolutely nowhere and is stupid. But apart from that, the story is great. and it ended. And it was cool, but it's not like it didn't have stakes. And recently, I read something from Power Rangers Unlimited, which was a retelling of the past of one of the villains from Power Rangers in Space. And of course, it had stakes, it had themes, it had a lot of things. And you know, it's technically not going to end well because she has to actually be the villain of the show. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like, it's still, I got a concise story, my feelings of the situations were sorted out, and I got some inspiration as to some stories that I want to make. And that's it, that's
I
all.
think you should, if you're talking about stakes, you should start, and this is something I am going to do as well. Start Total Drama from the beginning.
Right.
That's the suggestion, because I watched the new season of Total Drama and it made me remember. Oh yeah, I love this franchise. Let me just rewatch the because a lot of shows I love I only watch once. I've only seen Total Drama once, and so that seems like something to just rewatch because I've kind of forgotten most of it.
Here's the thing. For me, I think I would start with the second season because, surprisingly, Total Drama Season 1 is one that I actually watched most of when I was younger already. It's the rest of the stuff that I caught a lot of stuff just in bits and pieces.
I think I watched most of season 1. I didn't see 2 at all. No, I saw bits of 2 and none of 3. Which is funny because season 3 is like everyone's favorite. And then I just watched the rest in order because I actually caught those on TV. So it would be good because I think I'm probably more aware of the later stuff than the earlier stuff. So even in that case, I should just start from the beginning. I guess for you, starting from season 2 is a good idea as well.
Well, part of the, I mean, okay. When I was younger, part of the appeal of Total Drama was less the actual story in terms of continuation or the challenges, and more the novelty of how much they seem to get away with, and the fact that the challenges themselves I barely cared who won. The journey was just always fun. So that's what kept me going. Just like if even if I just like had an episode later, it's like, oh, this character's not here anymore, which means they lost in the last episode or something.
Yeah,
I'd still think
it's something to watch.
Well, I still haven't seen the last episode, so I haven't seen the craziness of that, so I need to go see it.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of a... Oh, we're getting more awards already. I forgot what this one was about. And there's also... Is this the one where I get the double award? I don't know.
There's a lot of one-season Canadian shows as well.
Yep, there it is.
Starscream, I'm now your leader.
Such fun.
I watched Transformers: Rise of the Beasts a couple days ago.
Oh, that's what you did? That's what you saw?
Yeah. And I actually, because I was just like, I'm ambivalent to it, but I don't go to the movies that often, so I may as well have fun. I'm being invited out.
By the way,
and I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Before you continue,
please hold your thought. I do want you to continue. This is the last stage in the normal timeline we're doing.
So what does that mean?
It means no more of the 6 environments anymore.
Oh, so what? Are we getting new environments?
Yeah. Every stage past this now is just going to be a new place.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's going to be something that's interesting to see.
Yep. And this is the hardest midnight stage that I was saying. And I'm playing it on Hell's Finest just to prove I can. Oops. Okay, I made this. defiant statement and then immediately just whiffed it.
Yeah, that was good timing.
But these...
But Transformers.
Oh yeah, Transformers.
You know, I never knew that Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal were different people.
Wow, that's a statement.
Yeah, I thought that was just like a Primal version of Optimus Prime, like a different continuity or something. Not just he's actually
You're like
there in the
doubly
same
wrong,
continuity. It's just a different
considering
person.
he's a future version, just gone to the past.
Right.
Well, descendant,
So, yeah.
not future version. People would lynch me if I said that.
Because he does say, Optimus Primal says, yeah, I'm named after you. And it's funny because after the Optimus Prime in this movie is kind of a douche. And so Optimus Prime is just like off talking to his friends. This isn't what I expected. Which is really funny. But it makes sense. The reason he's acting like that makes sense.
I mean...
And I will say, outside of... Because I'm sure there's always a why are the humans here in Transformers movies.
Not always.
I've only seen the first.
The problem is that they're used so badly.
Yeah, but I think they were used well in this one. One of them, he kind of just like, I want to come. And it makes sense why he wants to come, so sure. It doesn't necessarily mean that they bring him, but it makes sense why he insists on coming. And then the other person, she's actually there to translate stuff because she's a history, she works in a museum, so that makes sense.
Well,
so yeah, all of that stuff, the construction around things, I thought it was good.
Well, the thing is that, obviously, since I haven't seen it, I heard the Transformers fan perspective of it, since I am a Transformers fan, so I looked into the community. And almost unanimously, everybody said the same thing. There needed to be actual more beasts in Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah, I will say that Optimus Primal gets a lot of time.
Do not fight these guys. Just
don't.
That's my strategy.
Oh, the Falcon gets a lot of time, and the rest of them are kind of just in the background, and that is odd. You don't even see them transform.
Yeah, I hear Ares actually doesn't ever
form.
Transform to robot mode.
Oh yeah, she doesn't. I didn't even think of that. And then the rest of them, that's the final act. That's like, come on, that's a little weird.
I mean,
I was watching this movie thinking, can they even transform? Because they just don't do it.
Oh man, and the fact that
I guess maybe they wanted to save it for a climax. I get it, but it's a little. Even one of them should have transformed before the climax.
The fact is that, do you see the calculation I had to put there, and how I specifically stopped myself from going one frame later to hit that fireball? That jump is so hard.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and the reason why this sucks is because Beast Wars had like the best story out of Transformers for a while.
Huh? Looks like nobody's around, dude.
Full moon! I hate full moons!
Huh?
Don't worry, I'm not going to mess with you. Just run!
What does a demon of the night want with the star shadow?
I just want some food, dude.
Foolish creature. This isn't some game.
Did I accidentally skip the story here? I think I might have accidentally skipped the story here. I think I did this for so long that's because this is a practice thing. Oh wait, hold on. I think I might, if I'm remembering
Maybe
this
you didn't
correctly.
edit it out. You didn't edit out this fight.
Yeah, I think I might mess up this fight so much that I know it affects my rank, so I have to do the entire thing over again. And then I show the story. Hopefully.
Okay.
Um,
Um.
what was I saying? Oh yeah, Beast Wars had such a great story, with great characters and such mature themes, that out of everything that happened, to just have these characters come back, finally in the big screen, and not under Michael Bay's thumb, and then they're just not used that well. It's really disappointing.
I think that maybe they felt like they couldn't focus. They had to have Optimus Prime. They had to have Bumblebee. And so they had to just give the beginning of the movie to them instead of just making it. Because in theory, the story could have started in
Nope, it did
South
not
America or Peru or
go the way
wherever.
that I was thought it would. Whoops.
Yeah, the story could have started with the beasts rather than just have a scene. Have basically the first half of the movie setting up going to the beast's place. But I feel like they had to market researchers like, no, we have to have Optimus Prime, we have to have Bumblebee. And I'm sure Transformers fans are very tired of the whole Bumblebee speaking through the radio thing.
Yeah, especially since
Because I'm watching this and I'm just thinking, oh, he just does this all the time now. I'm sure he does it in the cartoons too.
Yep.
I'm sure they're exhausted. That's rough.
I mean, they changed it in certain continuities where he gets his voice back a lot more now, but still. I should say this since this is the last thing before we transition to entirely new worlds. But the story there, that since I apparently skipped it, whoopsie, is that under the full moon, Hoshikage undergoes a transformation into Tsuchikage. That changes from star shadow into moon shadow in the definitions, and becomes the best ninja alive. It's like a ninja prodigy every 1,000 years, etc. To the point where her master frog can't handle her anymore. So we accidentally came in at that point, and we had to beat her up.
So canonically, Itna's Prinnies are stronger than the best ninja in the world.
In this netherworld, yes. In the best ninja for 1,000 years, yes. At least one of them is.
Yeah, well, yeah, at least one of them.